Hi! Well, this is an awkward video for me. I'm going to express or get into a subject that's really kind of a painful one for me because it's kind of affected my whole life. It's been the theme behind most of my life. Anyway, there's a reason why I'm not wearing a wig today or furry wolfy ears. There's also a reason why I wear that kind of stuff. Anyway, this has to do with sexism and how women are treated in general. And, you know, it's funny because if a man has something intelligent to say and he gets up and he talks, people listen to him. But if a woman gets up and says something intelligent, or at least they hope it's intelligent, the critiques that happen about that woman often have to do with her appearance. Is she overweight? Is she homely? You know, is she an eyesore to look at? It's like, what are you so sure that she has nothing of value to say that you're just trying to be entertained by looking at what she looks like? You know, it doesn't matter if she's beautiful, you know, or if she's dog ugly. I suppose beautiful women who have nothing to say are more interesting to look at or to watch than homely women who have something intelligent to say, right? I don't know. I just don't understand. I can see guys who are fat and, you know, fat, ugly toads, and nobody says anything about the fact that they're fat, ugly toads. They just listen to what the guy has to say, you know. But with women, there's always that whole element of appearance. You know, what does the woman look like? Okay, well, that's nice that she said that, but please, what did she look like? You know, it's just kind of frustrating. Anyway, there's a video that I saw the other day that really shows a lot of good examples of how the attitude is toward women, not only by men, but also women. And I thought I would share it anyway, and then maybe comment after, if I can get myself to get to where the little start button is. Okay.
A hoe is a hoe, right? Could you get a little closer to the camera?
What is it? Is it
Come
zooming
in closer.
in
No,
strangely?
come in further. Come in closer. Really close.
What are you
I'm just kidding. You look great. Anyways, thanks. Aaron, it's great to look at that look. You're great.
I don't even know. I'm going to have to go look at the tape here. I'm
No,
in a
you're
strange
beautiful.
location.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're a knockout. Anyway, thank you, Aaron Burnett. I get in trouble for this, but you're great looking, obviously. You're one of the God's gifts to men in this country. She was calm. She was charming. Her hair looked, just to be cosmetic, her hair looked great. She looked great. What's she wearing tonight? The cosmetics tonight are very important. Whatever you say about Obama, his wife looked perfect.
Well, we've seen stories about her showing a little bit of cleavage on the floor of the U.S. Senate.
And I believe we actually have a split screen of the two women, and you can see there is a big difference between what Jackie Smith was wearing, although it's being covered by our... There we go.
So when you look at the calculation that goes into everything that Hillary Clinton does, for her to argue that she was not aware of what she was communicating by her dress is like Barry Bonds saying he thought he was rubbing down with flaxseed oil. Okay?
I always use the line that for Nancy Pelosi, you get one shot at a facelift. If it doesn't work the first time, let it go.
That's a cheap shot.
You all saw the famous photo from the weekend of Hillary looking so haggard and looking like 92 years old. If that's the face of experience, I think it's going to scare away a lot of those independent voters who are on the fence.
I just think that if she knew how it made her look, so alternately soppy and bitchy, she'd stop it. But she can't help herself, can she? You just can't.
Well, is she going to castrate Steny Hoyer if he gets in there? Is she going to say you may be there in form, but you're not there in fact?
Mark has been saying it for months. Men won't vote for Hillary Clinton because she reminds them of their nagging wives.
When Barack Obama speaks, men hear, take off for the future. And when Hillary Clinton speaks, men hear, take out the garbage.
When she raises her voice, and when a lot of women do, you know, it's as I say, it reaches a point where every husband in America has heard it one time or another.
When she reacts the way she reacts to Obama, with just the look toward him, looking like everyone's first wife standing outside a probate court.
I don't know what they're getting at here, Tucker. What do you think they're saying about Hillary?
I don't know, but that is so perfect. I have often said, when she comes on television, I involuntarily cross my legs.
I know you do.
I can see her in there.
Give me a pack of cool cigarettes, will you?
Men are depressed, and it's their own fault, because men are allowing women to take over the world.
We had the hammer, Tom DeLay, and now we have the Wicked Witch of the West, you know, Nancy Pelosi.
Let me tell you how short Hillary's leash is. She said, you'll have to ask my husband.
But she said she knows how I feel.
As if you're a guy going door to door trying to sell something, and she said, you'll have to wait for my husband to get home. Let's not forget, and I'll be brutal, the reason she's a U.S. Senator, the reason she's a candidate for president, the reason she may be a front runner is her husband messed around.
Yeah, but
That's how she got to be senator from New York. We keep forgetting it. She didn't win there on her merit.
You get a woman in the Oval Office, most powerful person in the world, what's the downside?
You mean besides the PMS and the mood swings, right?
The reality is you also would like to break this glass ceiling. You would like to have some representation. I mean, it's embarrassing, Tucker. We're 68th in the world for representation of women in our
I'm not
Congress.
embarrassed. I almost never, when I get up at a baseball game and sing the Star Spangled Banner, I don't hang my head because we don't have enough women in Congress. I'm actually not embarrassed by it at all.
Where are the governors? Where are the big state women governors? Where do they are? Where are they? Name one.
Most voters are women, okay? That's just a fact. So if women were so anxious to have women in Congress and there were so many great female candidates running, then why wouldn't Congress be 52% female?
this campaign right now is not the greatest example of why women should rule the world.
Well, this is exactly why men shouldn't allow the vagina monologue to become a dialogue.
I know that's a sexist comment,
It totally
but
is.
there's truth to it.
So that's the video. Yes, I appreciate that one quite a bit just because it's true. I remember sitting at a bar and there was a really pretty sports announcer on at that particular time, and the guys at the bar were commenting that she's gained weight or whatever. It's like, why is that even something they look at? You know, why don't they just see a person? We women have a long way to go, I guess, is what I find really sad. But I just think it's sad that regardless of what you look like, you know, what you have to say, it all depends for women on what we look like. And, you know, for me, I don't particularly care. I'm going to be 50 this year. My whole life was all about trying to be what I imagined would make me appealing. And unfortunately, unfortunately for me, I was not born a beautiful person. I will never be a beautiful person. Trust me, I have seen myself at my prime and at my proper weight. I'm about 30 pounds over right now. And I am still not a beautiful person. I'm average. And actually, I was quite happy to be average. But, you know, whatever. I don't understand why that's an issue. How people look is an issue. There's a lot of people that are really, unfortunately, you know, they don't have the benefit of having their eyes in the right place and their nose in the right place or their mouth in the right place. Or maybe they don't even have one of those things. Or you know, there's people that are born very, well, there's, I don't want to say deformed, but people who are born without all the benefits of having a normal, you know, eyes in the right place, nose in the right place, mouth in the right place, face, you know. Or there's people who have they get in accidents or fires, or they get that like horrible diseases or whatever, and they end up losing their looks for whatever reason, and suddenly they're people. I mean, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be a beautiful person and lose your looks. You know, at least for me, I was never beautiful. I was always just average, and so, you know, as I age, it's like whatever. I had this lovely condition, came along in my 30s when I used to work out every day, and it's called exercise-induced urticaria. I have no idea how to spell the last word. Actually, I know how to spell the last word. I don't know how to pronounce it. And I just ignored it. And eventually it developed into anaphylaxis because I ignored it. So I'll be on medicine for the rest of my life. And basically what it means is I can work out, but I can't do aerobic exercise. If I start to feel the burn, that chemical change in my body I'm allergic to it. And if I'm not taking medicine, I can go into full anaphylactic shock because of it. So it's not exactly a trivial thing. It's a physical allergy like asthma, but it's not very common. And I'm lucky. My chosen profession, I'm not an athlete. I found a runner's magazine once where they had a big article about it, and they were talking to runners who were trying to be runners and who had this condition, and that would be tough. That would be really tough. I looked up exercising when I first was told what I had, and it said that I could still exercise, but it would be good to have somebody around who knows CPR. So let's just say I've been a little bit afraid to get my core temperature up when I work out, and yes, I have gained weight. I'm, like I said, 30 pounds overweight. And why am I even saying this? Why is this even an issue? Well, because people judge people on what they look like. But I'd prefer to people just judge me on what I have to say and what's in my heart, and what's, you know, the kind of person I am inside. Because really nobody's perfect. Even the most beautiful people don't think they're perfect. They have things about them that they don't like. And I just think it's a sad thing that human beings are so superficial about looks. Part of the thing that I think is keeping women back is this whole attitude about looks for women. Like I said, the ugliest man could get up and talk, and people would look at him and pay attention to him and want to know what he has to say and admire him if he has good things to say or meaningful things to say. But a woman goes up and talks, and it's like the guys in that video. All I hear is my ex-wife. No, there's a human being that's talking to you, not your ex-wife. You know, women have their share of hearing their ex-husbands when they hear men talk, but they still listen. They don't tune men out just because they had a few bad experiences with some men. It just seems to me that the sexism that is still unfortunately alive and well in this country is, we have a long way to go. It's nice that we have Hillary Clinton and people like that who are making strides, but at the same time, not so much. Looks still matters a great deal. You still need to be beautiful to even have men look at you, to pay attention to what you have to say. And then again, I have to wonder, are they really listening, or are they just admiring the view? So that's all I wanted to say. It's just a pet peeve of mine because I've had it my whole life, this whole needing to be good enough to have people listen to me and take me seriously and whatever. And, you know, and it's just little things that, you know, happen. Like, I'm sure it happens to men too. You're at a bar and you're with somebody and somebody comes up and the person you're with is prettier and suddenly you just become invisible. And it's hard. It's hard. In this country, it's really hard to be average. And I have to say I'm kind of happy about the new generations coming up, the ones that aren't well, obesity is a bad thing. But at the same time, I think you should like yourself for who you are. You should love yourself for who you are. And nobody's perfect. And it's what you have, though. It's what you have. And I don't know. I'm losing my track here. So anyway, that's all. I guess just be happy with yourself and try not to care so much about what other people think, because really the value, the lasting beauty is inside. And I know that's a huge cliche, but it's true. And there's some beautiful people out there that have no personality. They wouldn't stand by a sick person for 2 years. And there's some beautiful people out there that are really wonderful too. You can't judge a book by its cover, and that works both ways. One story I wanted to say before I finish, there's a woman that comes into my restaurant sometimes, and she's she has some illness or some disease that really has disfigured her. And so much so that when I see her coming, I'm like, okay, I have to kind of like compose myself. But once I look her in her eyes, it's like the disfigure, it's all over her, it's on her face, it's all over. But once I look in her eyes, I see a person. I see a really happy, kind, caring person. And that's what I look at. I look into her eyes, and the rest of it just goes away. And I just wish that people could do that. More people could do that. Because that's where the soul is, that's where the heart is, that's where the person is. It's not on the outside, it's in the eyes, it's in the person, it's inside, it's in the heart. Anyway, I'm rambling. I hope one day I have probably 30 more years on this planet. I hope one day I see a little bit more people looking at people and not at just what they look like. So, thanks for listening.